Good morning, America. Al Graham on the streets of Coronado at the attic. Good morning, Jim Morrison. Our little piece of heaven, the Crystal Ship podcast and K-Pixie Radio, the only nuclear-powered radio station on God's green earth, is coming together a little bit more each day. Beautiful cup of cappuccino, some home-baked cookies by my friend Elizabeth. They are out of this world. I don't buy expensive pastries from Starbucks. Either make my own or have them made by friends. This is ship's hatch. We used to do a lot of them in the 60s. We'd get all these old ships and take the hatches and turn them into coffee tables and all kinds of other furniture. Right here in the Crystal Ship podcast, K-Pixie Radio entertainment complex, every day we get little cute records and cool old retro stuff, and slowly but surely building. Oh boy, there's Al Jack again. Watch out for this dude. Watch out for him. Look at that face. Look at the accoutrement. He's always up to something. Anyway, our little podcast, radio station, record store, the kibbutz hangout, groovy little place where all the favorite people we love come and all the favorite stuff we love to buy and sell is here under one roof. I gotta tell you the story about getting close to 80. I'm knocking on 80's door, and I heard the story today. Clint Eastwood was playing golf with a country western singer named Toby Keith. And Toby Keith said to him, "Hey, Clint, what are you up to today?" And he said, "Oh, just about to make another movie." And he went, "Man, aren't you 80-something? And what do you do, man, to keep yourself going? How do you do all this?" And he went, "I just don't let the old man in." So Toby Keith wrote a song called "Don't Let the Old Man In." I haven't heard it yet because I just heard the story today. But that's about it. I feel that way. My sister used to say to me, she'd tell everybody, because I was such a lunatic, she'd say, "You just never grew up." And if you can keep your youth like this, keep laughing instead of going, "Ooh, worry, ooh, toil and trouble, ooh," that old grinding, debilitating, whining, depressing outlook on life can kill you as sure as a heart attack. And so keep on laughing, never let them see you bleed. And always remember this, you could get hit by a truckload of toilets on the way to a construction site, and that would be the end of it. Or would it? I don't know, because I've never been dead. But I have lived, and I will live, and you should. It's my opinion only, but right now I'm going to sit down, have a lovely cup of cappuccino made for me by my friend Moira at Ponifacetta restaurant next door. And then I'm going to get about my day and collect more antiques, collect more tchotchke, sell some more. I'm going to go home and make some, in my workshop, and make some tie-dye t-shirts and some jewelry and other artisan things that, like those beads right there. I got to do something about them. They're going to be very big. I wear them. They're men beads too, but the men and women, they're unisex beads, but they look cool. And when I first met Jim Morrison, he said to me, we were coming over the bridge, and the sign said, "Christopher Columbus Transcontinental Highway," another name for the Santa Monica Freeway. And I looked down over Santa Monica. It was the middle-class town, but he looked at me and he went, "You know, I think this is where it's all going to begin. This is where the first steps will be taken." And I said, "What do you mean? To what?" He went, "Oh, the revolution." And everyone at the time was talking about, "Oh, going to be a revolution. Hey, you want a revolution?" There's going to be, "Oh, we're going to have a turmoil in this country." By the by, it was split in half those who supported the Vietnam War, those who did not. And there was a terrible, terrible chasm between this country. It looked like this country would break apart, but it didn't. So I said, what do you mean a revolution? And he went, well, you know, I don't mean a violent revolution. I mean a cultural revolution, meaning that all young people would start making their own shit. You know what I mean? They'd cut their own hair and they'd become self-sufficient and they wouldn't rely on a big corporation. This is way back then. He was anti-corporation. But don't get me wrong, he loved Americana. He loved big Cadillacs. He loved America, you know, the beauty of America, the greatness of America. But the kids then were just about, you know, like, oh, share the land and peace and love. That was a bit too far for me, a bridge too far. Share the land with whom? With a bunch of lazy hippies? Yeah, some of them were industrious and they were cool, man, but I'm telling you, I didn't want to slow down and smell the roses. I wanted to build and get a tea shop going, which I did, called Hampton Court. And I had a construction company. I was always busy, always full of activity. But a lot of people wanted to just say, oh, corporations are evil. No, some people in corporations are evil, but the effort to keep on getting better is always an aspiration. And we should never just say, oh, I'm not going to play in the system anymore. Don't, but you don't have to get out of it. You don't have to, like one time I went to this commune called Waters Brothers. It was the Water Brothers. It was a fanciful story about a space traveler and these people that came to Earth and anyway. And it was like, people there were great. I loved them. They would, you know, kill their own deer, and not just for fun, but for practical reasons. Then they would cure it in wine, take the gaminess out of it. Venison was beautiful meat, by the way. And they were cool. They'd take old beer bottles and cut them off with a cutter and make glasses. So they were self-sufficient. But in the end, their clothes were like made of bark and twigs and shit like that. And it was like, okay for the farm, but you couldn't walk downtown in a twig suit. And so there was a disconnect between the reality of, like, half of them were on food stamps and welfare. It's like, that's not self-sufficiency. That's laying on your lazy ass and asking the government to help you out. Well, they will, but that's debilitating. They all used to rush every month to get free government cheese. And it wasn't bad, by the way. The government made it and gave it to poor people, but instead of saying, you know, I'm going to break free of the system, but I'm not going to rely on it, but they never did. And that was the problem with the hippie movement. It was like, self-sufficient, but give me a handout. Nah, that's not what I wanted, and I didn't. And when I first came here, I owned 12 houses. I bought and sold them one after the other. I had 3 jobs. I was full of beans, so to speak. I had 3 children, lived in this beautiful, idyllic town of Coronado. Back then, the trees were only half the size of what they are now. I watched it all grow up. And now I'm back in my twilight years, and I'm in the antiques business. My partner Jane's over here. I'm over here. I sell rock and roll memorabilia. I sell books. I tell stories. I do radio. But my most thrilling enterprise right now is called The Last Whiskey Bar. It's the final resting place of Jim Morrison. There's the beginnings of it. It's a bar over here. There's a little fireplace that I'm going to be incorporating into it too. So this little quadrant of the store will become the whiskey bar. I'll be the bartender behind here. We'll have all kinds of beautiful spirits. And people will come up and we'll sell them a shot. And we'll also give them the opportunity to buy a beautiful cigar. And we'll kibitz, and we listen to music, and we'll play live music because I have a band called Frankie Setback and the Ghost Cowboys. That's my Taylor guitar, and I love country western music. I love ballads, I love classical, and I love opera. And so we'll be doing that. Here are the cigars, they're handmade by my guy from the Cuban Cigar Factory. That's a 15.5-inch one right there. I made that in tribute to Jim Morrison and B.B. King. But you can come and have a cigar with us, and you can come and have a kibitz, and you can come and have a laugh, you can tell a story, you can sing a song. Whatever it is, this is my little place forever. Look at this little table, this little area here. Bobby Dylan wrote an anthem as far as I'm concerned. While riding on a train going west, I fell asleep for to take my rest. I dreamed a dream that made me sad concerning myself and the first few friends I had. With half-damp eyes I stared into the room where my friends and I spent many an afternoon. We longed for nothing and were satisfied, laughing and talking about the world outside. How easy it was to tell black from white. It was all that easy to tell wrong from right. And our choices were few, so the thought never hurt that the one road we all traveled would ever shatter or split. I wish in vain that we could sit simply in that room once again. $10,000 at the drop of a hat, I would give it all gladly if our lives could be like that. So, all those people that he knew, his first friends are gone, he never saw him again and all that. Well, this is the place where that never happens. There's always a little table, a little coffee, a little arty literature, a little horn, a little bell, a little whistle, and a little fun, and a joyful time that can be spent remembering those we've lost, looking forward to the future, people writing new songs, a new beginning, so to speak. And there you have it, in loving memory of James Douglas Morrison and all of the other rockers who have gone before their time and all the other people who have gone before their time. So I talked to Charlie Keating IV today in heaven. I got a big flipper and it looks like a big long phone. I called up heaven. I said, "Can I speak to Charlie Keating IV?" He said, "What do you want, Al?" I said, "Well, down here with little Bobby, your cousin, and we're struggling, like all, every day." He said, "Well, there's no room here for you." I said, "Oh, I'm not calling about that." He said, "Well, what do you want?" I said, "I just wanted you to send down a host of holy angels to surround Bobby and I, and Elizabeth, his mother, and Robert, his father, and all the friends we love too, and give us a boost so that we can keep on keeping on." He went, "You got it, babe." And I said, "Well, say hello to baby Jesus for me." He said, "He's busy right now, but I'll tell him later." And he said, "It's time for you to go because it's time for me to go. I'm going to be polishing stars all day today. What have you got planned?" So I told him about this little place here, and he said, "Oh, well, I can't be there with you in person, but I'll vision you." And I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "Well, I'll look in on you. I'll send you all those angels you asked for and more." So when you hear a bell going, remember that you requested help from heaven, and in your grace, which is what it is when you believe in the Lord, I'll send you a signal, and it'll go like this. You couldn't miss that. I said, and he said goodbye, and I heard him, his voice echoing as he walked across the clouds, saying, "I got your back, Al. I got your back, Bob." And there you have it, Al Graham for the Crystal Ship Podcast from Cape Pixie Radio, the only nuclear-powered radio station on God's earth. The call letters are 420. We are located in Coronado, California, in the Principality of Lotus Land. Do 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 do.